morning, guys. I'm literally still in bed. I am on a mission today to get ready for my trip. I'm going to London very soon. I've never been. I'm very excited. It's a bucket list thing for me, but I need to get rid of a lot of the food that's in my fridge so it doesn't go bad. So that's my number one goal for today. And also, I really want to like prep my face and my skin and my hair and everything so that I feel really good while I'm there, because traveling tends to take a lot out of you anyway. So I'm hoping that if I do a little TLC now, I'll feel better throughout the trip. I thought I'd show you not only what I eat in a day when I'm trying to use up just what I have in the fridge, but also how I pamper myself and some of my favorite vegan products. So right now I'm gonna head to the kitchen. I'm going to make some muffins actually, because I have half an apple and that's what I need to make my 2-bite apple muffins. So I pulled up the recipe from my ebook on my phone so I could follow it, and then I started my day with two glasses of water. I always like to have water before I eat anything else, and then I also snacked on a banana. And this recipe will be linked in the description box below if you want to make these muffins at home. But you just start by blending up some regular oatmeal, and this creates an oat flour, which creates a really nice fluffy light muffin, which is always really nice. So I just pulse that a few times in the blender, and then I also make my own vegan buttermilk by combining some unsweetened almond milk and a little bit of apple cider vinegar. This really creates a really moist, fluffy muffin without having to add any oil, and it also helps create a little bit more air in the muffin, so you're gonna get that nice kind of fluffy, airy texture, which I love. So I just let that sit for a few minutes and go back to the dry ingredients. In a bowl, I'm going to add the oat flour that I made, along with 1/3 cup of whole oatmeal, some baking powder, some baking soda, a pinch of sea salt, and a generous amount, about 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. Again, this will be linked in the description box below if you want to try this at home. This recipe calls for half of a grated apple and 6 pitted dates. And instead of grating the apple and chopping up the dates, I just threw everything into a food processor, pulsed it a few times, and it was the perfect consistency. So I totally recommend doing that if you guys are short on time or just feeling lazy like I was. While the muffins were in the oven, I was kind of cleaning out and sorting through my freezer, and I realized I had 2 small, almost empty bags of frozen mango that needed to be used. Why I have 2 in there, I don't even know. I also had half of a frozen banana left over from one day and some frozen blueberries I always have on hand. So I decided to make a little smoothie, get some extra nutrition in my breakfast. I also had half of a container of spinach to use up over the next 2 days, so I threw some of that in there along with some almond milk and a splash of water, and this created a really delicious smoothie that was a really nice pairing with some coffee and a warm muffin. Actually 3 warm muffins. I think I had 3 in total, maybe 4. They're so good, you guys. So before going on a trip, I usually like to do a manicure, but I did one at home on this day so that I could save some money, and also so that I could show you some of my favorite vegan beauty products that I use. This is by a line called Raw Sugar, which is available at Target, and I actually teamed up with them so that I could show you their whole line of the coconut mango products. This is actually a sugar cube, which is meant for the bath, but it's made with cold pressed juices and all natural ingredients, all vegan and not tested on animals. And normally this goes in the bath, but I very carefully used a knife to cut it into a smaller piece and then put it into a bowl of warm water along with some coconut oil. So then I just soaked my cuticles for a few minutes while I talked on the phone, and then when they were done, I pushed back my cuticles, I filed my nails, and just kind of left them natural. I find that if I travel with natural nails, I don't have to worry about them chipping, so that's a little tip from me to you. Then I used the sugar scrub from Raw Sugar to exfoliate my hands. My hands have been really dry recently, so this helps kind of get all the dead skin cells off. And then I moisturized my nails and my hands with the matching body butter. This is also in the coconut mango scent. I feel like having fresh nails makes such a big difference in how you feel. I don't know, you look at your hands all day long, and just taking a few minutes to take care of them makes such a big difference. And this stuff smells really good too, so it just kind of puts you in a good mood. Okay, so right now everything behind me is kind of a mess. I've been cleaning and packing and doing laundry and vacuuming and running errands and stuff like that. So it's just that kind of a day. I'm already ready for bed, and it's very far in the future, so I'm not even going to think about that. But I do have to go to work later. So what I do on days like this is I usually have kind of a late breakfast, and then I have kind of a late lunch / early dinner, and then I eat again when I get home, and it's usually something kind of smaller like cereal or something. So since I'm trying to use up stuff that's in the refrigerator, I'm going to use up what was supposed to be tacos. I went to the store and I bought taco things, but then I forgot that I had wanted to make tacos with those things, so I used all the tortillas for like wraps and other things throughout the week. And then I don't really have a lot of salsa left anymore either, because I use salsa as salad dressing a lot of the times, and again, I forgot I was making tacos. So now I have like random bits and bobs of taco stuff, but not actually anything to make the taco itself. So I had 2 potatoes that I needed to use up, so I just cut them into discs using a sharp knife and then laid them out onto a cookie sheet that I lightly greased. And you want to do them in one thin layer so you get a nice even bake on all of them. To flavor the potatoes, I sprinkled on some chili powder, a bit of cumin, some salt and pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder, and this combo is really, really good. If you don't have these individual spices, you can also use something like taco seasoning. That would work really well as well. Once your potatoes are seasoned, you can pop this into a 375-degree oven until they are fork tender and crispy. Mine took about 15 minutes, depends on how thick you cut them. In the meantime, I decided a great way to kind of stretch out the amount of salsa I had, because I wanted way more than what was left in the jar, was to use up the little bit of onion I had left and some tomatoes to make kind of a mix of fresh salsa with the store-bought salsa. So what I did was I chopped a quarter of the onion. I just popped that into the food processor, along with a few handfuls of these tomatoes I was trying to use up, but there was no way I was going to be able to eat that many tomatoes just whole. So making salsa was a really great option for me. And I just pulsed this a few times, then squeezed it with a lime. I had half of a lime left over, some salt and pepper, and that creates kind of a really simple fresh salsa that I mixed together with the store-bought salsa, and bam, I have a whole big bowl of salsa to use for my nachos. So you just want to arrange these potatoes onto a plate, and this is really good because instead of eating a whole plate full of chips that have been fried, you are just eating some potatoes, which are actually good for you. So you're kind of getting the same effect of being able to scoop with the potato chip, but it's a lot healthier and more filling. I filmed a video for this nacho cheese recipe, and that will be up tomorrow, so make sure you tune back in then so you can get the full recipe. It's so good. This was awesome. It was like having a whole big plate of nachos, but without feeling bad afterwards. It actually gave me lots of energy. I'm back from work. I've already changed into a robe because that's all I wanted to do the entire time I was at work. I didn't wear makeup today because I wanted my skin to breathe, so I'm gonna have a bowl of cereal, and then I'm going to let the pamper evening begin. Then I did a hair mask, and I've shown this in a video before. It's basically just a mix of whatever hair oils I have on hand. This time I did coconut oil and castor oil, but I did a little extra trick by adding some peppermint oil. Peppermint oil is really stimulating to the scalp, and it's supposed to be good for hair growth. So I put that in while I was kind of packing and tinkering around my apartment so it could sit for a few hours, and then I washed it out in the shower, and it worked really well. I have another video called my evening routine video where I go into more detail about this if you want to check it out. So I let that sit in my hair for a few hours, and then before I was ready to jump in the shower, I made a face scrub, and I've been making this face scrub for years and years and years. It's so simple. You just need some sea salt and some lemon juice, and I happen to have half a lemon from the other day in my refrigerator that I needed to use up, and this is great because the salt is really detoxifying and the lemon juice is very purifying and very brightening, and it's a really great scrub to do like the night before a big event where you want your skin to look really nice. It is a little bit strong, so it kind of tingles a little bit on your face, so if you have sensitive skin, just be aware of that. But you just want to mix it until it's a thick paste, and then I do this on freshly cleansed skin while I'm in the shower. And also when I was in the shower, I exfoliated my body with the raw sugar coconut mango scrub. This is that really thick sugar consistency that helps slough off all the dead skin cells, and I like to do this before I shave. And then I finished my routine with some of the raw coconut and mango body butter. As you can see, I'm almost done with this. I've used almost the whole container because it's one of my favorites and I use it almost every day. I hope you guys enjoyed seeing what I eat in a day and also some beauty products that I really like that are vegan. You guys ask me sometimes what kind of skincare products I use and body care products that are cruelty-free and vegan, and this is a line that is really easy to find. You can get it at your local Target. It's affordable, it smells good, and you can feel really good about using it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I love you, and I will see you in a video very soon. Bye.